Buonasera a tutti, vi chiedo di accomodarvi, grazie.
Good evening. Can you take your seats? We're about to start.
Innanzitutto un ringraziamento.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you who are here. For us, it's the first time that we are giving out the awards for the technical contest outside of EIMA. And this is very important and significant to give more importance to the most important part of our work. I am an entrepreneur, as you know. I am the president of FederUnacoma, but only, if you like, that's not really my full job. And I think that, in fact, this sector has a future if it puts forward new things. Very often we managers want to maximize, in fact, margins, EBITDA, the revenues or whatever, to the detriment, however, of our companies. And when I was a student at high school, in fact, I had to be questioned on Shakespeare, and I was asked to look into this subject, and this was Pollard was the man who was an expert in Shakespeare. I don't know if you remember you who were at high school at the same time. And one thing that Pollard reminded me of was that in the arrogance of success, in fact, is to think that what, in fact, you have done yesterday is sufficient for tomorrow. And one has to have the humility to go for innovation. And we have to remember that as managers, we are dead companies if we don't move forward. We're not dead today and not perhaps tomorrow, but in the midterm, yes, if we don't innovate. And like EIMA and all other associations, we realize this. For EIMA, it's very important because, in fact, you come to have an overview of the market, and you can see all the machines that you can possibly imagine by category. But especially you come to EIMA to see the novelties that are being presented. And this is the same for all sectors. We Italians, Europeans, Western countries, we are the avant-garde. We're leaders. In fact, Italy is a leader in agricultural machinery, but people don't know that because we're good at innovation, especially Italians. We are also very good at specialist innovation, not just open field machinery innovation. We, in fact, have given innovation to a great category, engineers. And these are people who are geniuses to a certain extent. As an entrepreneur, I keep them on a short rein, if you like, because, in fact, they are very individualistic. But we have got used to looking at marketing figures, and we say, okay, before you do a new product, let's go and see what marketing has to say, and so on. And here again, you have to also say that customers don't generate anything. No customer, in fact, has ever asked for electrical energy before it was invented. So let your engineers, your inventors off the leash, because nobody's going to ask new things of you. But once the new thing comes out, well, then it'll be requested. And it's these young people, these engineers, turn now. And very often we take the credit for that, we as managers, for what they do. Well, that's okay. But we have to give them a free rein. We have to also look at the market, because obviously innovation, in fact, goes hand in hand with what's going on in the market. We had a board meeting, and we have looked at the situation, and I won't, in fact, hide from you that I'm rather skeptical of the future, of the autumn, that the market would in fact fall. Inflation, raw materials, energy bills, and so on, which energy is becoming a big problem for us. So I was rather fearful. But In fact, from the restart after the emergency, things are not that bad. The sentiment that we have seen and in the association and the Badmita, which is the European fair, has not really been there. There's not, if you like, the enthusiasm that we had up to last year, the end of the years. But the data are negative, if you like, but this is because, in fact, companies are finding it difficult to produce what the market, in fact, is asking of it. There are some sector microtrends, and there's 3.94% increase for the next year. That's the sort of figures that people are talking about. So there's still a good climate to invest and invest in innovation. I won't take up any more of your time. Today we have the honor of having two people who are very important for us. I'd like to therefore call upon the Councillor for Agriculture of the municipality of Bologna. He's Daniele Ara, and he knows a great deal about this subject. And then we're going to have the CEO of Bologna Fiera, our host of EIMA, which is the key activity we have. We're going to call upon the CEO, Antonio Bruzzoni. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure, of course, to have you in this prestigious hall. I, in fact, have a ministry, if you like, for agriculture. I think this is quite singular. For many years, I, in fact, worked in a particular quarter in Bologna, in a neighborhood in Bologna, for education. But I also come from the agricultural world as well. I, in fact, am an extension agent with a VAT number, and I've always looked into ecological agriculture. And I wanted to give you my greetings and the greetings of the city on the occasion of this very, very important fair and the award-winning ceremony of the contest. And I think this is something that EIMA goes very proud of and should be, because working on innovation is the challenge of the future. I risk, in fact, saying things which are very banal and very trite, but we really are at a turning point in history, a very important turning point in history. So either we make our public production system really more efficient, well, otherwise we can't continue to be sustainable from many points of view, also because of costs. So innovation is fundamental to be able to improve the efficiency of our systems, and also important for sustainability, an enormous challenge for us and future generations. Bologna intends to be and is an agricultural city. We've somewhat lost that. We're at the center of a very important agricultural region, and all the various mechanical sectors, in fact, come from agriculture. But today, unfortunately, the Bolognese citizen doesn't have that affair. We, in the Emilia region at the beginning of the 20th century, was one of the poorest in Italy. And thanks, however, to its agricultural model, with cooperatives, with the solidarity that these communities showed, it linked in the world of work and the world of entrepreneurs. And this developed, of course, industrially after the Second World War. So our roots are in agriculture, in the primary sector. And I'd like to thank Bologna Fiera here for this, for putting the accent on certain trade shows, EIMA, SANA, for example. It's all important that in fairs like this, we can, in fact, talk to the citizens. In other words, come outside the city and show Bolognese citizens, in fact, who and what we are. So I'd like to thank the next EIMAs on the 9th of November, and we will, of course, welcome them again with open arms.
ruberò proprio 2 secondi.
I'd like to just take away very few moments of your time. It's been a great pleasure to follow the marvelous history of this event in these years that we have lived. Not easy years, of course, for trade shows. There was a period of great complexity also in terms of competition in the European trade show scene. So I think Bologna Fiera has really been very close to FederUnacoma in these long months. And we want to continue, and we will continue to be close to FederUnacoma. So I'd like to thank you for the incredible work that you have put in to very important events, this enormous organizational capacity and your enormous knowledge of the sector. I think that this is the reason for this success. We have seen the people increasingly come to the fair. And I'm here to confirm to you the development plan of the company. The company has also gone through great difficulty because of the lockdown, but we closed with a capital increase. This was very difficult to develop because this was based on 3 actions: capital increase in terms of 20 million in terms of cash, which is partly subscribed but will be in fact paid up at the beginning of November, and therefore we'll have certainly at least 18 million of the 20 that in fact has been called, and so that's an enormous amount. And we have, in fact, also increased the fair. The perimeter of the fair has been increased. We're going to have new areas of the fair which have been given to us, and this will improve the logistics of the fair. And the third aspect is we have a capital increase because of a converting bond, which is going to be subscribed by Inferma, which is the largest fair organizing in the world. And the governments will remain in the region. And so the cash capital increase has, and also the increase of the extension of the fair will be only local. So we are going to remain at the helm of the fair. But the fact that the most important fair organizer in the world thinks and believes in our trade show is very important, and that they have contributed to it. So we are, according to the second capital increase, in fact, already at work to extend the fair, and we are going to have 120,000 square meters, and it's not going to be temporary buildings, it's going to be in masonry. And in fact, I confirm this, I confirm the commitment of Bologna Fiera to do this. In fact, it was recommended that I mention this, and I have done. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you, Antonio. I would like to greet you also on behalf of the President of the region, Stefano Bonaccini, who is a friend of ours. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us. So I'd like to greet you all on his behalf. I'd like to say something I'm very proud of. We are the largest fair in Italy. We are only a niche sector, but we are larger than Venitaly, the Design Week in Milan. So I think we should be really proud of our achievement. But now, let's come to the most important part of the event, because you are now the protagonists with your technical innovations. We have Davide Gnesini, who is the head of the jury that selected 25 technical innovations and 37 mentions. Thank you. Thank you very much. This year, as you know, we have 25 awards and 37 mentions. You'll have to be patient because we won't be brief. This is a special dedicated event, so we're going to give the award to each and every company. The guidelines are the same as for other companies. Transition to electric engines, respect for the environment, and efficiency increase. In order to streamline operations, we invented a graphic system for each product that you're going to hear about. You will see a symbol which explains why this technological innovation was given the award. I think they should be quite intuitive, as you can see them: productivity, safety, digital technology, environment, and technical design. Let's start with the first company, ADR, with the Easy Drive system. It's used for trailers. It facilitates the work for users because it has the best characteristics both for free steering in forward and powered steering in reverse. And it performs very well. Flavio Radrizzani, chairman of the group, is here to take the award. The second company to be awarded is a German company, Agrotop, with the EasyMatic Connect. This is a closed transfer system for plant protection products. The system allows not only to transfer plant protection products from small containers of up to 15 liters, as it's common for similar solutions, but also from larger containers up to 1,000 liters. And we have Joachim Erfurt. The third company is Andreoli Engineering, together with CH Engineering. But this is a project that had already been presented. This is a compact self-propelled grape harvester for terraces, where otherwise it wouldn't be possible to use mechanical harvesting. And to take the award, Mr. Federico Andreoli. The next company is Antonio Carraro for Mach 4 Tony. This is a narrow tractor for specialized crops. It has 4 rubber tracks and a hydrostatic transmission. This is innovative because in the past it wasn't possible to combine the 2 elements. Damiano De Checchi. Next company is Arag with Flowtron. It's a solenoid valve which is peculiar for the way it was designed. It is very fast, very high performing in terms of flow rate. So it can be used to control PWM, pulse width modulation, which means opening and closing the nozzle very quickly, the nozzle that distributes the plant protection product. So this helps reduce the environmental impact. Marco Vernia. Argo tractors with Landini Rex 4 full hybrid. It's again an agricultural tractor for specialized crops with a plug-in hybrid engine. So it can work as a full electric engine, but also as a hybrid engine. Giovanni Esposito. Next company is Arvatec for Moon Dino, which is an autonomous robot which is powered by a solar panel, as you can see in the picture. It's a robot used for mechanical weeding, and it destroys, it eliminates weeds going through lanes where rice is not cultivated. Savio Landonio receives the award. The next company is BMW, which receives the award for this mechanical fruit thinner. As you can see in the picture, it has a shaft put in rotation by a hydraulic motor with controlled rotational speed and effort. On this shaft, multiple oscillating rods are fitted, and it's the only machine for mechanical fruit thinning. Stefano Borio takes the award. CNH Industrial received the award for a system that can be used on telehandlers with electro-actuated leveling of the boom attachment. This is a solution that opens the door for new autonomous features. Gianni Sant'Arcangelo, Technical Director of Engineering in the Lecce factory, receives the award. Next up is Kobo, which received the award for the Vision Lane Navigation. It's the first system ever using artificial intelligence. This is a system used for automatic driving in vineyards, which is based on soil recognition. So there is no use of GPS, but only cameras. Enrico Linetti takes the award. Next up is DHE with the hybrid boost system. We know that legislation on polluting emissions are becoming more and more stringent. For stage 5, up to a certain power threshold, AD Blue is necessary, but for this telehandler this is not necessary because there is a small internal combustion engine which is combined with an electrical engine, so the machine is more powerful but simpler. Davide Comastri takes the award. Next company is Dragone, which received the award for this forestry mulcher with a variable volume chopping chamber, which can be used both for finishing and for eliminating plants. This only requires a small regulation on the machine. Claudia Boeri takes the award. The next project is a joint project by a number of companies, also in collaboration with some research centers, so it's quite a complex project, but very quickly I'd like to mention the 5 companies to receive the award. Each of them built a machine which replaced traditional engine with electric engine, and what's new is that they have new features. They have been able to add new features thanks to the use of electrical power. So the main advantage of the transition toward an electrical engine is that it also makes it possible to add new features. The 5 companies are Dragone, Fissore, Fontana, Frandent and Spezia. And the 5 machines are a straddle sprayer for vineyard, a ditch digger, a leveler, a rotary tedder, and a vineyard leaf picker. Claudio Boeri, Ivano Fissore, Dario Lupic, Ezio Bruno, and Giancarlo Spezia received the awards. Next up is Fontana. The product to receive the award is Mini Dozer, a compact tracked leveler. Its main use is in greenhouses, where the perfect leveling of the plane entails a lower use of water resources, so it optimizes the use of water resources. Aurelio Fontana takes the award. Next up is GL1 for Comfort Mountain 7000. This is a hydraulic mowing arm for roadsides. The mowing arm can be extended, but it can also be close to the tractor without the need to occupy the whole of the road. So with improved safety. Claudio Gallerani receives the award. Then Irriland, which received the award for Elefamp, a motor pump for irrigation. Its innovative feature is the linearity of the suction circuit, which makes it possible to reduce energy consumption. Diego Maione takes the award. Kubota Europe for Optima Smart Sprayer. This requires the use of artificial intelligence. Now this sprayer follows adapts to the canopy. It recognizes pests at a very early stage and it only sprays where it is necessary. Ana Cortez Sanchez receives the award. Mattermack for Mil Plus Eva. This is a voice control system for the agricultural machine. Marco Feltrin receives the award. Modula SPA with modular lift. This is a system which is organized like automated warehouses, but it is used for the cultivation of strawberries to have a controlled environment, and the difference with other water-saving systems is that it is possible to have better control. Massimiliano Gigli receives the award. Next company is OCLL for rover. For this rover, a compact electric, remotely controlled, self-propelled crawled sprayer. So these are all very advanced features. Maurizio Carraro, the owner of the company, receives the award.
collaboration between two companies for the next prize, TRM Voltex of Olbia and Beltoni, that in fact puts together a sprayer and a pneumatic defoliator. Sergio Olmi and Roberto Bertoni are going to collect the prize. Ortomec was given a prize for a machine that puts together mulching and sowing. But the first layer of the mulching is put down later, then the seeds, and then a second mulching layer is put on in all one passage. Luciano Piva will collect the prize. The PESI Instruments was given a prize for an agricultural digital solution by way of introduction. You know that paddy fields need a lot of water. To be able to reduce the amount of water in paddy fields, there is a so-called AWD, alternate wetting and drying technique. In other words, you flood the fields only at some moments, and in other moments the water is allowed to absorb. To check the moment when, once again, you have to wet the field, there are tubes with holes which allow the operator to see where the level of the water is. This is now done with a digital system, so you don't have to go and manually control it in the field and see all the centers. It transmits data to the central unit, and in fact it is a 4.0 type of technology. Andrea Lari collects the prize. Same Deutsch-Fahr for a transmission for agricultural tractor and RV shift. It has characteristics and functionality of CVT and power shift transmission. Without being too technical, it means that it is optimized and can be used in all situations at high and low speed, and it can be controlled very easily by the operator. Engineer Angelo Maritano is going to collect the prize. He is from marketing, director of marketing. The last of the technical novelties, Sartec has developed this direct spraying system of agricultural chemicals. And here we have a traditional machine where we have a possibility of directly injecting fertilizers or agricultural chemicals, the fact that there is a separate prescription and distribution for each particular agent. So it's precision agriculture and farming. Eleonora Sud and Marco Tazelli are going to collect the prize. I'd like to ask the chairman if I can have the honor to ask a friend to come up to the stage. He's a personal friend. I usually call him Giovanni, and he is the dean of and the chancellor of the university. I call him Giovanni. He's done us a great honor to come here, Giovanni Molari, and who better than he to come and talk to us about innovation? Professor Giovanni Molari. Good evening to everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here today, this evening. I'd like to thank the chairman, Davide, and everybody present. There are many, many friends that I see in the audience. I think that this is a very special moment for the whole of the sector, seeing what's happening. We have challenges that we weren't used to. If you think about the problem of the energy crisis, the problem of the war, which has led to effects throughout the agricultural sector, the pandemic, it's been a very special time, and we still are in a particular time, and it requires very particular solutions and attitudes that we weren't used to. And I think that the university, together with the industrial world, can give an enormous contribution, especially to this sector. It's a sector which is going through, in this particular case, also very special times. The recovery and resilience plan, out of 5 of the plans, has one concentrated on agri-tech, on the technological aspect of agriculture, in other words. And of the 15 partnerships, is one in the food area, which involves the sector of agriculture, of course. So they're all the things that have been developed to have partnerships and industrial doctorates. In other words, the university and the industry working together on everyday issues. And then also the sector is very lively, and we see this from the technical novelties that have come forward. And I, of course, didn't sit on the adjudicating board as I did before, because my life has somewhat changed, but certainly I think that we can all give an enormous contribution to the development of agricultural mechanics and the industry of agriculture, all told, which means pushing forward the country. There are many, many challenges and really important things that have happened. For example, EIMA, that has come back to being a trade show in person, which I'm sure will lead us to once again exchange opinions, and also hopefully will be a commercial success. I just therefore like to end by saying how I hope that you continue this role, the road that FederUnacoma started out on together with all of you, in a period when in fact the chancellor of our university comes from the agricultural world, which is really a one-off. It's never happened before. So I think there are many opportunities to pick up on, and I'm sure that this is the best possible public to take on these challenges and carry them forward in the future. And anyway, I'll be at EIMA, certainly. I can't resist coming. So thank you all very much, and I wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you, Giovanni. We will welcome you very willingly to the trade fair. So now let's continue with the mentions of EIMA. The first is a company which you should all know, EIMA, with a modular steering column. This is a modular steering column. It has various innovative aspects, especially the possible of shifting the instrumentation to increase visibility forward. And then there are various regulations to improve the operations. Engineer Enrico Strozzi. I know that this is no conflict of interest whatsoever, but I made absolutely no overtures to get this firm mentioned. EIMA with a Kappa kit, it's a drone, but what it has is a system to distribute beneficial insects to improve sustainability. Paolo Maras is going to collect the prize. Agricola Italiana, this is a PK22 vertical machine and it's an electric seeder. Here the main advantage of the machine is to reduce energy absorption. Christian Graffiglia collects the prize. Baker was awarded for this motorized braking valve. Rather than being a simple system which is just hydraulic, it's also motorized and it improves the safety of the operator as a result. Olivier Gassin collects the prize. Bravo was awarded for this Rotomix electric self-propelled mixer wagon. The reduction of consumption, energy efficiency is one of the advantages. Corrado Bravo collects the prize. The same sector, CAEB, was given an award for the ETML. It's an electric compact forage baler. It reduces up to 30% energy absorption. Guido Rota collects the prize. CNH Industrial for the E15X electric power micro digger. It's a battery micro excavator Porton Chevalier, who is from the product marketing sector department, collects the prize. Kobo, the keyless system. It's an electronic device that recognizes the user when he or she approaches the machine. It unlocks the door, regulates the parameters that depend on the personal characteristics. Dr. Colinetti collects the prize. The third and last award for Kobo for the adaptive comfort seat. Here it's a seat for the operator. It has active suspension. The particular feature is that it is a magnetic rheological technology, and therefore it varies the activity depending on the situation. Nicoletti is collecting the prize. Cortesi won for the Cross-X band. This is an agricultural mesh for baling. Its particular feature is that has been developed so that it doesn't come apart if there is a tear. Dr. Roberto Garnicio withdraws the prize, takes the prize. Dalcero metalworking for the fertilizer spreader S18E. Here the machine has been programmed to have various spreading curves. It can in fact regulate its setting automatically, and it spreads very precisely right from the first minute. Sergio Dalcero collects the prize. Aero won for the Aero VT control. This is a control system on the machine that can be adapted to various machines of the company. It's an entry-level solution for precision farming in specialized farming. Dr. Luca Peretto collects the prize. Faresin is one for its self-propelling mixing wagon for livestock feeding, FP 3.36 plus. There's a real-time chemical calculator which ensures the right mix for the livestock feed. Claudio Secco, an engineer of the company, is going to collect the prize.
Hypro receives the award for Clean Load Nexus. It's a closed transfer system for plant protection products. What's innovative about it is the connection with the plant production product container with the use of Easy Connect cap, which should become the standard of reference without the use of adapters. Matteo Piva collects the prize. Industrias David receives the award for V-Dual. It's a bilateral mechanical pre-pruner using sensors for agriculture 4.0 and an increase in productivity. Francisco José Lopez collects the prize. Let's move on with the only company which unfortunately was unable to join us, but we would like to mention it. This is an adjustable pitch bracket for tines of mechanical weeders. It has a system that regulates the angle of the implement so that it can adapt to all the ridge profiles. Let's move on to the next company, Kramp Group, which receives the award for its app, which is designed to manage spare parts. What's special about it is that it scans barcodes, but it also identifies spare parts simply by the use of the phone camera. So giving access to all the information. Claudio Bonezzi collects the prize. Kubota receives the award for Next Generation SCG, which stands for Specialty Crop Gateway. It's an electronic system that makes it possible to have access to precision agriculture features also for specialty crops. Once again, Ana Cortés Sanchez is here to receive the prize. Lechler receives the award for its variable rate nozzle. These are variable flow rate nozzles, so one single nozzle covers up to 5 ISO nozzle sizes. Robert Enkel is here to collect the prize. Same company receives an award for a different solution, an XDT nozzle, Extreme Drift Reduction Twin Nozzle. It's a nozzle, again, that reduces drift with a double symmetrical flat spray. It can be used also with the pulse width modulation technique. Robert Henkel collects the prize. Next company is Lemken, which received the award for IC Weeder AI, which uses artificial intelligence in the agricultural machine. In this case, we're talking about a mechanical weeder, and the artificial intelligence system is able to recognize weeds at a very early stage when they might be confused with the crop. Rick Heilfers collects the prize. Mascar is awarded for its Monster 870, a round baler which can weigh the bale in real time and send the data to the center, to the control center. Sante Maschio collects the prize. MTA is awarded for, the prize for AgriSeek. It's an HMI system, human-machine interface system, that makes it possible to control more than one monitor, more than one screen, by improving the user's experience, avoiding delays. Antonio Falchetti, the CEO, is here to collect the prize. Netafim receives the award for its PCJ Pro, which is a pressure compensating dripper. The innovative feature of this solution is that it improves resistance to occlusion. Flavio Malatesta collects the prize. Next company is New Holland, which receives the award for its system of QR codes that provide access to training videos. In this case, in a combine harvester, the user can use a QR codes to have access to training videos which describe the use of all the controls. Eduardo Ronco, Product Marketing Manager, is here to collect the prize. Let's go back to irrigation with the first of the three prizes for Rainbird Corporation. This is for the flow indicating basket filter. It's a very simple but effective solution that measures the flow rate in domestic irrigation system. Simone Cazzaniga collects the prize. Again, Rainbird Corporation for its XFS drip line system. Let's move on to the next slide, please. So here it is. It's an inline emitter tubing which uses a pressure compensating copper chip and a miniature check valve in each emitter, thus avoiding root intrusion and loss of water during irrigation. Simone Cazzaniga collects the prize. Third innovation by Rainbird Corporation is FG100 flow sensor. It's a flow sensor for residential irrigation systems. In this case, the sensor has been designed to keep it in place also in winter. Simone Cazzaniga again collects the prize. RPE receives the award for its dual solenoid valve for irrigation systems. In this case, with this solution, it is possible to have simpler installations with fewer losses. Davide Paralin collects the prize. Next company is Salvarani, which receives the award for its Agro 3 monitor, a control unit for boom and orchard sprayers. Pier Giorgio Salvarani collects the prize. Same Deutzfahr Italia, which receives the award for its ultrasound guidance system, again for specialty crops. It's a self-guided system which is based on ultrasound. So instead of using cameras, the tractor is guided by ultrasounds. Thomas Hamann collects the prize. Again, Same Deutzfahr, in collaboration with X-Farm Technologies, for their EasyBus system. Basically, again, this is about the use of precision agriculture techniques to specialty crops. Paolo Cesana collects the prize. Sigmar receives the award for its Vignamatic system. It's a cultivator for the vineyards. It can lift the central part. Isaia Di Fulvio collects the prize. StarTech receives the award for its My Irrigation app with blockchain technology. The goal is to have full traceability and to protect the app from all attacks, while water is a more and more precious resource. Livio Sut collects the prize. Then there's UV boosting, which receives the award for Helios V in 2022. It's an updated version which has been improved in many of its features. It's a machine that stimulates the vine's natural defenses through the use of UVC rays. Cassandra Ferrer collects the prize. Vibo SRL receives the award for Vibo Lift Modena. It's a self-propelled and self-leveling arm-type work platform. Mauro Vicini collects the prize. And the last mention is Valve Oil for its EPX, which is a flow-sharing directional control valve with downstream compensation for Gianluca Ganassi, collects the prize. One last slide before giving the floor back to our president. This is a preview of what you're going to see tomorrow on the national press. Some national newspapers are going to give some room to our campaign. So, as you can see, we have worked on communication. And now I think that the President will tell you about our next steps. And having said that, I would like to thank you for your attention.
I prossimi step sono molto...
The next steps are very simple. We, as a sector, do great products, and we have to be very good also at marketing them and publicizing them. It's not, in fact, equally or easier. It's difficult to make these products, but it's very difficult to disseminate, to explain to the press and to explain to all our operators and farmers and everybody, because our common good is EIMA. EIMA, in fact, helps us to sell, helps us to move forward and make progress. So I'd like to thank you all for the efforts that you have made, both technically and in R&D and mechanically, electronically. I've seen some really great things this evening. We have a buffet at the end, and also to do some networking and exchange views. And then we have an evening of interviews with the various journalists to show the world and through the press what we do and how well we've done it. So thank you all very much. You've been very patient. I'd like to ask all of those who have won a prize for the technical innovations, the first 25, in other words, and then the other group afterwards, but just simply because, in fact, we won't all stay on the stage. So the technical innovation people, can you come up? And then the 37 other prize winners or mentions winners will come up afterwards.